Everyone keeps telling you chia seeds are the answer for belly fat. So here is something that might annoy you. In head-to-head research on people over 40, chia is not the strongest seed in the bowl, not even close. 3 other seeds have human trial data that chia simply does not have for the fat you cannot see, the fat wrapped around your organs. That is visceral fat, and it is the kind that actually drives your blood sugar and your blood pressure. So today, you are going to forget the trend for a few minutes. You're going to look at flax, fenugreek, and hemp and find out which one matches your body, because they do not all do the same job. One of them will probably surprise you. Start with flax because flax has the most human data behind it. Most people think flax is just fiber. It is more interesting than that. Flax is the richest food source of a plant compound called a lignin. Your gut bacteria turn that lignin into a weak, plant-based version of estrogen. Here's why that matters for you. After 40, shifting hormones push fat toward your middle. A weak plant estrogen can gently soften that signal. In simple terms, flax does not burn fat. It calms the hormone noise that tells your body to store fat around the belly in the first place. And it does a second thing at the same time. That same lignin appears to raise a helpful hormone your fat cells release, one that tells your body to burn fat for fuel instead of hoarding it. So flax is working 2 angles, quieting the storage signal and turning up the burning signal, both gently. Neither one alone is dramatic. Together, they point your body in a better direction. Now the honest part, because you deserve real numbers and not a sales pitch. When researchers pooled dozens of human trials, flax did shrink waist size, but the effect was modest and it mostly showed up at higher doses, around 30 grams a day or more. That's roughly 2 heaped tablespoons of ground flax every day for weeks. Some trials saw a clear drop in waist size and fasting insulin. Others saw almost nothing. So this is a slow, steady nudge for the right person, not a switch you flip. Here is who the right person usually is. The strongest flax results tend to show up in people who are already carrying extra weight and already have some blood sugar trouble. If that is you, flax has more room to help. If you are already lean and metabolically healthy, expect less. There is one rule you cannot skip. You must grind it. A whole flax seed has a hard, slippery shell, and it passes straight through you, shell intact. So you get almost nothing, not the fiber, not the lignins, not the oils. Ground flax, stirred into yogurt or oats or a smoothie, is where all of it actually reaches you. One small catch. Ground flax goes stale fast because those oils are delicate. Grind a little at a time or buy it ground and keep it in the fridge in a sealed jar. The flax verdict: if your weight gain feels hormonal, if it crept in around the middle after 40, flax is your sensible baseline. Now, fenugreek, and this is where the chemistry gets genuinely clever. Fenugreek carries an unusual amino acid with a long name, 4-hydroxyisoleucine. You do not need to remember the name. You need to remember what it does. In lab studies on human pancreas cells, this compound nudges your body to release more insulin, but only when your blood sugar is already high. Sit with that for a second. Most blood sugar drugs push insulin no matter what, which can drop your sugar too low. Fenugreek's compound only steps in when sugar is high, then steps back when it is normal. It behaves less like a hammer and more like a thermostat. On top of that, fenugreek is loaded with a sticky, gel-forming fiber. When it hits the water in your stomach, it swells into a thick gel. That gel does two useful things. It slows how fast sugar gets absorbed from your gut after a meal, so you get a gentle rise instead of a spike and a crash. And it fills space in your stomach, so you feel full on less food. In human trials in people with type 2 diabetes, fenugreek lowered fasting blood sugar and improved longer-term sugar control. There is also a deeper effect worth knowing. Beyond just squeezing out more insulin, fenugreek's active compound appears to help your muscle and liver cells listen to insulin better, to actually open the door when insulin knocks. That is the real prize, because the core problem in stubborn belly fat is often that those doors have stopped opening. Most of that deeper evidence is still from lab and animal work, so I am holding it loosely, but the direction is consistent. Why does any of this touch your waistline? Because a blood sugar spike is almost always followed by a crash, and a crash is what sends you hunting for snacks an hour later. Flatten the spike, and you flatten the crash, and you flatten the craving that comes with it. Fewer raids on the kitchen means fewer calories you never planned to eat. In simple terms, fenugreek will not melt fat off you. It steadies the blood sugar swings that drive the cravings and the stubborn belly fat tied to insulin resistance. To get it, soak about a teaspoon of seeds in water overnight to soften that hard shell, then swallow them with the water in the morning or blend them into something. You can also use the powder stirred into warm water. A heads up so it does not surprise you, fenugreek tastes bitter and can make your sweat smell faintly like maple syrup for a day. That's harmless. The fenugreek verdict: if your problem is energy crashes, sugar cravings, and a waistline that tracks with how many carbs you ate, fenugreek is your seed. Last one, hemp. And here is where you will see me be the most careful, because this is where the trend usually overpromises. Hemp seeds carry a rare omega-6 fat called GLA. Your body turns GLA into signals that can cool inflammation. The theory goes like this. A lot of stubborn fat sits under a low, slow burn of inflammation, and if you cool that fire, the fat becomes easier to use for fuel. That theory is reasonable, but I am going to be straight with you. The strong human trials on GLA are mostly about joint pain, skin problems, and nerve pain, not belly fat. So if anyone tells you hemp directly burns visceral fat, they are running ahead of the evidence, and so am I if I say it. So why does hemp still earn its place? Two real reasons, and both are solid. First, the protein. Hemp is a complete protein, which means it has every building block your body cannot make on its own, rare for a plant food. Why care? Protein is the most filling thing you can eat gram for gram. It quiets the hunger hormone and keeps you satisfied longer, so you naturally reach for less. And when you are losing weight, eating enough protein is what protects your muscle, so the weight you lose is fat and not the muscle you actually want to keep. After 40, protecting muscle is not optional. It is the engine that keeps your metabolism running. Second, the fat profile. Hemp gives you omega-3 and omega-6 fats in a balance close to what your body actually wants, and most modern diets are badly tilted the wrong way, heavy on inflammatory fats. Nudging that balance back toward calm is quietly good for your whole metabolism. It will not show up on the scale this week. It shows up as your body working a little less against you over months. In simple terms, hemp is not your fat loss seed. It is your fullness and inflammation seed, and those two things quietly make everything else work better. Hemp hearts need no grinding and no soaking. Spoon them straight onto whatever you are already eating. So, which one wins? Wrong question. The right question is which one matches you. If your fat gain feels hormonal, the after 40 middle, flax is your pick, and it has the strongest human waist size data of the three. If your problem is blood sugar, cravings, and crashes, fenugreek is your pick, with solid trial support for steadier sugar. If you are always hungry and feel puffy and inflamed, hemp is your support seed for fullness and for cooling inflammation, even though it is not a direct fat burner. And here's the part nobody sells you because you cannot put it in a single jar. You do not have to choose just one. A spoon of ground flax for the hormone side, plus a spoon of hemp hearts for protein and inflammation, covers two different jobs at once. Add soaked fenugreek if blood sugar is your weak point. That is a stack, not a magic bullet. If you're not sure where to start, don't start with all three. Pick the one seed that matches your biggest problem and run it alone for a few weeks. Why alone? Because if you add three things at once and something changes, good or bad, you will have no idea which seed did it. Start with one, give it a fair trial, then layer the next one in. That's how you find what actually works for your body instead of guessing. One more honest word on dose. More is not better here. Pile on too much of any seed too fast, and the only thing you will reliably get is bloating and gut discomfort, because that is a lot of fiber arriving at once. Start with a teaspoon, drink more water than you think you need, and build up slowly over a week or two. Your gut needs time to adjust, and a slow start is the difference between a habit you keep and one you quit by Friday. None of these is a miracle. Every honest trial here shows a nudge, not a transformation, and only when the dose and the prep are right. Grind the flax. Soak the fenugreek. Keep it daily. Chia is fine. It was just never the strongest seed in the bowl. Now you know which one is actually yours. The studies are linked below if you want to read them yourself. Take a second to tell me in the comments, are you a flax person, a fenugreek person, or a hemp person? I read them.